Interesting. You never know what the pigment's gonna give. Oh, ooh, ew. Dot here and a dot there and a dot on my nose. Oh my god! Okay, we've done 4 lip products. I have like 7 to go. I have a bunch of new Essence makeup and I'm so excited, and I had to find a way to get your attention, and I thought, you know, a lot of people on the internet are like screaming in your face, so maybe that's a good way to do it. First of all, I have the Essence Milky Glazed Liquid Primer. It's a liquid primer with rice extract, glycerin and ceramides, lightweight carrying texture that provides a smooth and even finish, applies transparent, can be applied as pre-makeup step to prep the skin or worn alone. Let's just put this on. I know a lot of people are really excited about these type of products. It's a little bit difficult to show, but it's quite liquidy. I'm just gonna rub this in between my hands, and like in every video, I should have taken off my rings first. First impression on the Milky Glazed Liquid Primer, it gave my skin a really nice, like slightly tacky finish. Face feels a little bit less tight, it feels a little bit more comfortable. It looks glowy as well, and it feels a lot more comfortable, and it leaves a very nice hydrated look, and my skin does feel a little bit more hydrated. So this is really nice. So let's continue, shall we? Next up, I have the Silky Blur Perfecting Primer. So this is a blur primer with a silky lightweight texture, helps to prolong makeup wear, blurs the appearance of pores for a smoother looking complexion. That actually did blur my skin a little bit. Interesting. We'll continue to test this out. So excited to try this. This is the Essence Silky Cushion Foundation, and it is supposed to have glycerin. I have the shade 100, which I think is the lightest shade. This is supposed to be a buildable, lightweight foundation with silky texture, long-lasting and waterproof for flawless finish. And you have like this inner seal thing. Gone. And then you have like the cushion foundation on the inside. Not going to apply the cushion foundation with this. I am going to use a brush because that is just my preference. I'm gonna swatch this really quickly. That could maybe work. Wasn't expecting that. First of all, shade match, not entirely my shade, I believe. I do feel like it's slightly too pink, which is making it look a little bit gray on my complexion. I was not expecting this, but I am actually really flabbergasted, yes, I'm using that word, by what I'm seeing on my skin by applying it for the first time. I would definitely say that it's more of a medium coverage cushion foundation. It is definitely also a little bit more on the satin side. I can definitely see that this is not the most glowy foundation. The way it looks on my skin, the actual finish, the way it's sitting on top of my skin is very much like a second skin kind of thing. And I also like the coverage again that it gives me. So my first impressions on this are actually very, very positive. So yeah, this is a very good first impression of this cushion foundation, and I will definitely test it out a little bit more. Now I don't have a concealer, so I'm quickly going to take my Silky Blur concealer from Essence, and then I'll be right back to do the bronzer and the blush. Okay, moving on, I am very, very excited about the next 2 products. So now I'm going to continue with bronzer and blush. I'm so excited to try these. So this is the Essence Water Dew Serum Bronzer that I have for you today, and I have the shade 10 Latte Drop. So I'm going to have to actually translate this from Dutch, so please bear in mind while I'm making mistakes. So this is a must-have for a shiny sun-kissed look. This serum bronzer is going to give your skin a natural sun-kissed glow that looks super fresh. Very lightweight, a light to medium buildable, and this is the sponge applicator, by the way. So this is the shade 10 Latte Drop. It looks like there's a little bit of red / pink. Without further ado, gonna shake this up. Dot dot. I'm gonna start with that because you never know what the pigment's gonna give. It is looking a little bit too pink / red for my complexion, I can definitely tell. But I have to say it was very easy to blend out, and the pigmentation is definitely like medium to buildable. It's a very thin layer of bronzer, and it also looks a little bit like transparent, like you can almost see through it. Because it has a little bit of that glow, it looks very natural. And I have to say, in general, this is looking really nice. Again, a very good first impression, and this packaging reminds me of Asia Beauty. Like it's beautiful. Moving on to blush, my favorite category when it comes to makeup. We have a Water Dew serum blush, which is like the which is supposed to be like the exact same formula as the bronzer, obviously, because it's the same range. And then I do have the Jelly Pot Lip and Cheek, and this is in the shade 40 Warm Touch. Water Dew serum blush in the shade 30 Rose Mood, a little bit more transparent than the bronzer was. So this is the shade Rose Mood. As you can see, it's very shiny. It's definitely like a water-based blush. And then we have the Jelly Pot, so I'm very excited. So this is what it looks like. So this is for lip and cheeks. 40 Warm Touch. I dig. Ew. So it feels like slime. That's the only way I can just describe it. I don't entirely know how to feel about it. And this is the shade. I actually don't think I'm gonna put this on my cheeks. It feels very sticky and I don't know how I'm gonna like that when it's on my cheeks. So I am going to use the water blush serum. I'm gonna put a dot here and a dot there and a dot on my nose. It's definitely a little bit more of a glowy blush because it is water based, so it's not going to give you a very blurred effect, as you can see in my cheeks. Already obsessed with this, and this is definitely going into my everyday makeup bag to test it out every single day. I love the shade. It is so natural. It's slightly of that sun-kissed brown color that I love so much. It has a little bit of that red, a little bit of that brown. It's lightweight, it's slightly glowy. It looks extremely natural on the skin. It's almost like this is just like my natural flush coming through. I really like this, and I'm definitely going to continue testing this out. So we've done all that. Now it's time to set my makeup, and we're going to use the lavender powder. This is the Essence All About Matte Fixing Compact Powder, which is a formula that I used to love a lot. This is a light lavender shade, and I'm very interested to see how this will pair with my complexion and what it actually looks like. A lot of people use this to kind of like brighten up the under eye, and even though my base is looking so beautiful right now, I am going to use some a light powder sponge kind of applicator that came with the cushion foundation for this kind of method that we're going to do. And then I'm gonna press this. Okay, that's brightening. Oh shit, that's very brightening. And I'm really pressing this into the skin, and I'm gonna take a little bit of a powder, well, a brush, and I'm actually gonna go underneath the eyes. My under eyes are brightened, that's for sure. Let me take a quick look. And it does look slightly brightened. I'm not too sure if I dislike this, actually. I wasn't expecting to, because I felt like, okay, lavender powder, whatever. But it actually looks pretty good. Now, I don't necessarily use powder anywhere else on my face except for my under eyes. I just, I'm not always that type of girl, especially not on a daily basis. So far, count me impressed. This is actually really looking lovely, and it's not looking too dry underneath my eyes, which I really appreciate. As you know, I am a dry skin girly, so I am going to give my face a little bit of a spritz, a little bit of a hydrating extra layer with the new Essence Silky Blur Flawless Setting Spray, which is their new spray. Usually I use this at the end. Moisturizing ingredients can be applied as pre-makeup to prep the skin or over makeup to set. So we're gonna shake it up, see what this Ooh. Ooh, it is quite scented. I'll give it that. Okay, I'm gonna protect my microphone for a second. I really like the smell. I don't know what they've been putting into these products, because like the cushion foundation smell amazing. The blush and the bronzer smelled really nice, like caramelized sweet. What it did to my skin, as you can see, a slight layer of extra moisture. Just kind of brings back some of that dimension and like some of the glow in my face. I have a few eye products from Catrice that I have currently. Let me think what I'm gonna start with. I'm actually gonna start with my brows. So this is the Essence Brow Lifter Extreme, and this is their new transparent brow gel. And then it has a very interesting wand, a triangular shape, and then it has like these little hairs. Feel like I squeezed out a little bit too much, and now I'm left with very bushy brows and very like gluey brows. So that might be like a user mistake. That's a mistake. That's on me. I don't know how I feel about this applicator. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like it's not really combing through my brows very nicely, but they also look very glued down, which is not necessarily a look that I like to go for. I will have to continue testing this out. Not entirely sure how I feel about it. I forgot the contour palette. We're gonna come back to that contour palette in a second. I'm so sorry. They have this nude eyeshadow palette. This is a mini one. They have a couple of different options, but I have the nude edition. These are some swatches. They are very pigmented. They look very velvety and very pigmented. So I'm interested to see what this is going to give on the eyes. I have a little bit of concealer on my eyes, so I'm first going to go in with the shade right here. The look today, obviously, is gonna be quite simple. I'm not gonna create anything too complicated. And I'm gonna take the darkest shade in this palette, and then I'm gonna put that on the outer V. I don't know what it is. I feel like there was a little bit of product on this part of my eye that's now like sticking that eyeshadow to that region. I'm gonna check on the other eye if it's gonna happen as well. My camera died on me, but it's fine because it gave me the opportunity to actually finish one eye. My impressions on this mini palette, it is very pigmented, the lightest shade, which I was not expecting, very opaque, and you get that really nice like bright inner corner if you wanted to. The shimmer is definitely one of those like satin shimmers. It doesn't have a lot of pearl or glitter in it, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because as you can see, it gives a beautiful shine to the eye. I've tried the darkest shade on the other eye and I have to say I don't have any patchiness there, so I think there was just like an issue with some kind of product that was stuck on my eyeball right there. I do love this like middle shade, like this one right here, this transition color. I really like, I think it's a beautiful shade and it blends out probably the best of them all. So where we left off is I did the transition and then I did the inner corner. I applied the shimmer on my lid, which is nice, and then I did apply a little bit of this shade right here, which is the lightest shade in my inner corner right here. So you can see that I have the inner corner matte right here, but right here it's shimmery. So now I'm gonna finish off the final touches of this eye makeup look, and for that I'm gonna use these 4 products. So first of all, I'm gonna start with the Blur Nude eyeshadow stick, and this is in the shade Oatmeal Glow. This is really nice. It's a shimmery eyeshadow stick, so it is also a little bit more on the satin side. I'm just going to apply the shade in my inner corner and kind of like dragging it up, and then I'm also gonna put it on my lower lash line like I did with this lash line right here. But so far my impressions of this are really nice. It's very creamy, easy to blend out and all of that jazz. The next thing that I did was apply a little bit of eyeliner, and this is the new Essence eyeliner pen, extra long lasting. So I am just going to create my usual winged liner that I do. I don't know why, but I'm shaking a little bit. Actually, my impressions on this eyeliner pen are very positive. The application was very easy. This tip of the eyeliner was very easy to work with. It really glided on. It was very black and opaque at first application. Setting, like I'm rubbing my skin right now, and it looks really good, and it does look very budge proof. And then I'm gonna take the same eyeliner and I'm also going to line the inner corner and kind of like extending it. And then also, as you can see on this side, I did add a little bit of an extra wing, so I'm also gonna add a little bit of a liner. Now to connect it all, because obviously I did a little bit of tight lining on this lash line and not in this lash line, and to connect these 2 liners to the upper and bottom part, I am going to use the Lash Princess Long Lasting Eye Pencil, and this is in the shade Party 01 Deep Black. I have to say I applied this about 15 minutes ago, and even though my eyes are a little bit watery, this is still not running. And then with this, I'm just going to tight line a little bit. Oh, my eye is watering. This is enemy territory. Then I'm going to apply the new Lash Princess mascara. So this is a silver one, which I think looks really cool. I love the fact they did like a silver chrome packaging. So this mascara separates the lashes quite nicely. It gives them quite a bit of length, and it also gives them a little bit of volume. If it were to give a little bit more volume, I think this would definitely be in my top mascara right now. A really nice separation, a lot of really nice length as well. This could be a really nice everyday mascara, and like I said, I think this could be like the first time that I actually like a Lash Princess mascara. I am hoping that this doesn't smudge though, so we will have to be careful. So now we're gonna move on to the lips, and then at the very end I am going to use the contour palette a little bit. For the lips, there is so much to talk about. I am going to insert a clip of a different day where I do a lot of the lip swatches and give you my just kind of opinion on them. But for now, I'm quickly going to finish off this makeup because my battery is going to die very quickly. But first, I'm going to use the Essence Line and Stain Tattoo Lip Liner. I'm gonna leave it on for a couple of seconds and then we'll see. But I have to say right now, it did apply it a little bit patchy. Obviously, I just got these products, so I was unable to store them in the way that they should be stored. I do love the color though. I think the color looks very pretty, but like the patchiness, I don't know how I feel about that. So I'm hoping that once the stain is on, this will be really nice. But for right now, I need to move on. Stain my lips a little bit, but like I said, I have somewhat of that patchiness and I don't know how I feel about that. So I'm just gonna go with a classic liner. This again is the Essence 8 Hour Matte Comfort Lip Liner in the shade Comfort Zone. This looked like a very interesting shade that I wanted to add to my collection, something that was very light and cool tone for Essence. Easy application. It definitely looks a little bit more pink than it did in the swatch. The swatch was a little bit more brown, like a perfect everyday liner for me. This looks very close to the lip color that my actual lips have, so that's very intriguing. I think this is perfect. Like the final thing, I'm just quickly going to put on this Essence Milky Glazed Glossy Lip Balm in the shade 05 because like I said, I want to do the swatches and my camera is about to die and oh my god! I'm so happy I put that on before I move on to the swatches. I just wanted this. So this is what everything looks like. I have to say in conclusion, really liking the Milky Glazed primer. I really like the Silky Blur primer. Cushion foundation is very interesting and it looks really good on my skin right now and I'm curious to see how it wears. The bronzer I will have to see on a different kind of like shade of complexion products because I don't know what I think about it yet. I feel like it's very subtle and very natural. The blush, obviously, I was a big fan of. So the eyeshadow palette, it's kind of like it's okay, but it's not my favorite, even though I really like the eye look that I did today. The eyeliner, amazing, just amazing. The setting spray, also really nice. I will have to continue testing that out to actually know what I think about it. The Lash Princess eye pencil in the shade black, so the creamy eye pencil, not the eyeliner. So far, amazing. This Milky Glazed Glossy Lip Balm, already can tell you before we move on to the lip swatches and my mini reviews, I love those. Lash Princess mascara, pleasantly surprised. We'll definitely continue to test out because I think right now my lashes look really nice and it's probably my favorite. Okay, I forgot about the contour palette, goddamn. So I'm quickly going to apply a little bit of this. Okay, really nice shade, blends in really nicely. I completely forgot about that, to be honest. But yeah, this is the finished makeup look. And then now we're gonna move on to all of these lip swatches, which is gonna be crazy. Bye! Is it giving babushka or is it giving like cool? Micellar water and my cotton pad. Let's begin. I'm gonna take off what I actually have on right now. I'm going to start with the new Essence liner that I have. This is the Essence 8 Hour Matte Comfort Lip Liner in the shade 23 Comfort Zone. Like I said before, I feel like this is going to be a really, really good everyday lip liner for me. Oh, I really look dead right now, don't I? The application is actually really nice. It's not too waxy of a lip liner, so it has a little bit of like slide, but it's also not too dry where you really have to like tug on the lips to actually get any kind of color. So yeah, I think this might actually become like a really nice everyday lip liner for me. I really like the way that it looks right now. Then moving on, Essence Blur Souffle Sheer Nude Lip Balms. This is what they look like. This is nude beige and this is nude mauve. I feel like nude mauve looks very warm and orange to be a mauve color. This is nude beige. And then this one is nude mauve, but this is not mauve in my world. What I find very interesting about these immediately is actually the texture of these lipsticks, is that they have somewhat of a matte finish. There is a little bit of shine to them, but the actual feeling of this when you apply it and like when you rub your lips together is definitely more of a lip balm. Moving on to this. This is the Jelly Pot Lip and Cheek. This is the shade 40 Warm Touch, and I do think it could be a very interesting formula on the lip. I have to say it looks a little bit sheer, but it feels like you can really build it up. If you have ever tried like the lip mask from Laneige, that's kind of what the texture reminds me of. Color is very sheer and very subtle. Because of the stickiness, I feel like this is going to stay here for a long time. It's much better on the lips than it is on the cheeks, that's for certain. Next up, I have the Essence Juicy Matte Lip Mousse, and this is in the shade 02, which is Feather Light Pink. So this is what it looks like. So I am assuming that this is very reminiscent of like the NYX soft matte lip creams, and I feel like this is a beautiful like wineish red, if you know what I mean. I think I like this shade, but I'm not entirely sure if I do, because I do feel like it makes my face look a little bit bleak, a little bit of out of balance, a little bit more pale. Really nice opaqueness, like there's no patchiness on the lips whatsoever. So yeah, it just looks very blurred, slightly matte, but still not uncomfortable because it has a very lightweight and thin consistency. Okay, we've done done 4 lip products. I have like 7 to go, so I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. This is the Essence Hardcore Jelly Lip Balm. Again, this is kind of like a lip balm, and if I'm not mistaken, this is like the watermelon dew one. Yeah, this is Melonlicious 02. So basically, it's a jelly translucent lip balm, very lightly tinted, and in the middle there's a little heart. Honestly, it doesn't look like much. Like I said, it's more of a translucent kind of tint. I feel like this could be one of those like color changing pH things. Right now it is a very light baby pink color on me. There isn't much to actually say about this. The formula itself feels very glidey and definitely more of that classic lip balm kind of texture. I feel like the demographic of this is not my age anymore. Isn't she? I have 2 other lip balms. So these are the Hydra Kiss lip balms, and I have the shade 01, which is called Crystal Kiss, and then 03, which is Cocoa Kiss. The texture itself is like a lip balm, but it's a little bit more of a very stiff jelly, whereas I feel like Cocoa Kiss has a little bit more slip, a little bit more glide, is a little bit creamier, isn't as much of a jelly and more of an actual lip balm. So Cocoa Kiss is a cool toned pinky nude with a little bit of mauve and a little bit of brown to it. So on the lips, it translates to this absolutely gorgeous lip color, as you can see. Pretty. It is very wearable. It's very daily friendly. It's definitely more of a nude color. And then the crystal one I use whenever I really don't want to think about what I'm putting on my lips and where it's like bleeding and stuff like that and where it's supposed to be. So these are the Essence Milky Glazed Glossy Lip Balms. First of all, packaging on these I absolutely adore. It's very Asian beauty inspired, which I like because I like Asian beauty. The shades that I have are also very interesting. I'm just quickly going to swatch them. So we have on the bottom Cream of the Crop, which is 03, and then on the top we have Latitude, which is more of that brown color. If you watch me, you know that I am a sucker for these type of colors. So this is 03 Cream of the Crop. Formula itself slightly thicker, but not gloopy or like gluey in any way. It's just a slightly thicker gloss. I'm so excited for this one. Okay, I'm gonna apply the next color, which is Latitude. Amazing. Amazing, stunning, 10 out of 10. You can actually see that I'm wearing my t-shirt inside out. That's so pretty! Just the fact that I'm filming makes me really happy right now, and this shade is absolutely stunning. Okay, well, taking this off, my lips are... they're getting irritated. These are the lip stains. I'm gonna put each of these on like 1/2 of my mouth just to kind of show you. These are the Essence Line and Stain Tattoo Lip Liners, and I have the shade 07 and 02. This is Troublemaker, and this is Must Have Brown. I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes and see if this stain is actually a stain, and I'll be right back. I was going to make it 5 minutes, but it turned into like almost half an hour. So this has been on my lips for almost half an hour. I don't know if it's stained or not. Let us see. Okay, yeah. This is my cotton pad with almost no product on it. Yeah. Very minimal is coming off. So lip stain, oh yeah, I did fix my hair a little bit. I could not deal. Lip stains, obviously they do stain quite a bit. I do feel like they're a little bit patchy. I also found it a little bit tricky to get any kind of like pigmentation out of these. In the end it did work, but it took a lot of like building up. That was probably it for today's video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. As always, it means a great deal to me that you're actually watching my video. I was so excited to try these products, to try them out today, and I feel like there are a lot of really good things in this collection, like the cushion foundation, bronzer, and the blush I have on right now as well, and they look really cool, and I've been using them a little bit more, and they're really, really good. But yeah, that's kind of it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and yeah, I know it's a very cliche thing to say, and I saw a TikTok about it. But my ending is a very cliche ending. I'm like, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. And I've been doing that for years, and now I'm like, oh, I saw a TikTok of like 2 people making a little bit fun of that like very typical outro, and now I'm like, should I stop doing that? But I don't know what else to say. That's it. Let me know what you think of this head scarf situation. I'm growing more fond of it, and I'm building up my confidence to actually go out with this outside to the outside world where other people except for you can also see it. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and obviously I will see you in my next one. Bye.